6 basic trades in 3 years, and you would make $76,000. This method is so powerful that you don't even have to trade leverage at all. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you a powerful strategy where you can 10 to 20x your portfolio without worrying about the dollar. I'm going to show you how to trade against Ethereum and Bitcoin. And by using this, you're going to see a whole nother side you never knew existed. Now guys, already more than half of the students that completed the last cohort have already doubled their accounts for Sniper School. It is working. It's absolutely incredible. Welcome to Sniper School. You have made it.
London,
you have made it.
Chicago,
Nigeria,
Germany,
Denmark,
Australia, Netherlands.
Yeah.
Belgium.
I've been watching you since I think you probably first came on the Rand show, and like, dude, I love your energy, man. Like, something resonates with you and the way you trade, and it just like, I feel it, man. Like, and you totally inspired me, dude.
You're a real person. You do it from the heart. I know nobody which is doing shows like this, teaching someone else to get money with heart.
It'll change your life.
Now remember, there's 3 basic steps that you need to do to sign up for Sniper School. You have to open an exchange account using one of the Sniper School links. Now guys, I know you're gonna say, I already have all the links. I've already used all of the exchanges. You're allowed to open multiple exchange accounts with some exchanges. 𝗦𝘁𝗁𝗍, for example, allows you to have 3 accounts. Now guys, once you have an exchange account, you want to deposit $100. You get to trade with this capital. We actually trade with it on our live daily sessions. You get to join us on a call every single day with the whole community and people actually trading. I remember when I was trading and I had a little community as well, like the fact that I could jump on with them at any moment when the market was going crazy, it's a privilege to have this. It's a really big thing. And the third step, you need to put in your user ID. And this you'll find in your information section on your exchange platform. But we've made this simple for you. When you click the register for Sniper School, it will send you an email of how to complete the 3 basic steps. Now guys, remember, Sniper School does not cost a cent. We've managed to make it free. Now remember to follow the 3 basic steps below, which you'll find in the description, and come join over 14,000 students on taking your first step to financial freedom. Enjoy the video. By removing the dollar and just understanding when to be in Bitcoin and when to be in altcoins is the only factor that you need to know. And all that you need is, I'm teaching you guys a 4-step method. You know, I spoke about this last week and I'm gonna go through this shortly again in this session as well. Once you have a time frame, once you have a business model, once you have all of these basic things, you just need a 4-step method on when to long when the market's going up. You know, 4-step method when to long when the market's going down, a 4-step method when the market's ranging. And you need this for longing and shorting. As long as you got the 4-step method on 3 different types of markets, you got the melody. Like, that's it. And all you have to do is just do that every single time. You have a trading journal that's there to track your data and to see where you're going wrong and how we can just better the strategy. That's all that's for, is to just keep your data and to understand where are the mistakes and things like that. And that's all that you have to tweak. And that's all you have to do in trading to make a lot of money. That sounds quite crazy, right? But that's exactly what it actually is. By the way, what's up, guys? I'm already in like teacher mode and going in and all these sort of things. I hope you've been enjoying the live sessions as well. We've had many successes, 1 or 2 stoppages, but you have a place every single day that you can come, and all of the stuff you're learning in the course, you can actually put it in the field, and you have a whole team that's here to help you with it. But you also have thousands of people that are doing exactly what you're doing. And it just makes you understand that the power of this community is absolutely incredible. I think we're even jumping onto cohort 5 next. Tama, to everyone here, can you guys believe it that we're going to cohort 5 already for Sniper School? So I'm in my happy place. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Pop in the chat, like I said. All you need in crypto, you need to understand that you have money. Every single cent that's in that wallet needs a purpose, and it just needs a basic system. And the system goes like this. You need a business structure. Once you understand the purpose of what that money's for, you create a business behind that money, you create a roadmap for that business, you then create a step-for-step method, so bite sizes, very simple. Instead of worrying about how you're going to turn $100 into $1 million, you start by turning $100 to $200, $200 to $400, $400 to $800, and you'll be quite shocked that in 20 steps you had $1 million. And that's the way you got to do it. You know, again, I'll say it again, I went driving this morning and I saw that big mountain again, and I'm like, how could anyone hike that? You know, it's quite crazy. But let me start with that small little piece first. And then you get to the first one, and then you all of a sudden you're amped. You start to be like, whoa, okay, I took the first step. You start to feel better. You want to then attempt the second one. And it's crazy, by the time you get to the 10th one, you're on top of the mountain. And that's exactly how you have to think about it. You guys are not being unrealistic by sitting here and saying, I want to be millionaires. The world's going to tell you it is, and everyone's going to tell you that it's not possible and things like that. That's why we make the step for step. So you can believe, okay, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to get to step 10. I don't know how I'm going to get to the end target, but I can attempt to get to step 1. And once I'm at step 1, I'm going to feel pumped. I'm going to be proud of myself that I did get to step 1, and I'm going to have a bit more energy in me to get to step 2. And then when I get to step 2, now I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm catching a bit of traction. Things are starting to feel amazing. Now we go step 3. And that's how it basically flows from there. Then after that, what you got to understand is your businesses cannot conflict with each other. Very important, because if a business is suffering, you must never allow another business to come and save the day. It's not how it works. You got to get your business sustainable. You got to get to a point where it runs by itself and it gets better by itself. You cannot save the day. That's like me saying, like, you guys come, you have $1,000 now, you trade it, you get wrecked in leverage, and I come and I give you another $1,000. Like, what's it going to do, right? You're just going to possibly go get wrecked again, or maybe get a little bit lucky, but eventually you're going to get wrecked again. So what I teach you is you need to understand that different exchanges. So why we have Bybit, why we have BitGet, why we have OKX, why we have 𝗦𝘁𝗂𝗍, because you can use them all for a part. You don't want all your eggs in one basket. You want many different exchanges that you're splitting these businesses over. So if you've got a car business that's sitting in BitGet, you've got a house business sitting in Bybit, you have a salary business in OKX, that's how you have to do it. And ultimately, the money that's in there is there to build that business. And why you separate them is because it gets quite tough for you to save a business now. Because if my money's there and it's all the way there and I have to do this to get this there, then I'm not likely going to do it. We are actually very lazy as humans. So you start making it a little bit tough for yourself to make it accessible or something like that, and it will help you prevent it. Because there is going to be a day where you're having a bad day, or you're having a fight with your partner or anything like that, and you're just going to say, you know what, screw it, I'm taking that money there, I've just lost on this one and I'm going to go do it. It's all these temptations that do come. So you have that, and you have the splitting system. If, for example, you start a car business, right? And you got a car business, you got $1,000 now. Your step 1 is to get to $2,000, right? You can make profits on the main gold. Your gold is your absolute everything. You never use that gold for leverage or margin or anything like that. You can make profits on that gold though, and open leverage and open margin off of the profits. You can do that and build. But ultimately, what you are doing is, if you have the goal of $1,000 to $2,000, and let's say you make the trade and you make $1,500 profit. Your step 1 was only to $2,000. That $500 must get split into somewhere else to start another business, something like that. Like, what I'm trying to explain to you is you need a splitting system. And the reason why you have that is because if you compound too much and you over compound, if you screw up once or you screw up really bad one time, everything you worked for in a very long time goes to waste and it all goes down the drain. And I've been there many times. You know, I spoke about me losing $40,000. To me back then, it was everything. It was everything I ever had, everything I ever worked for. Because I made a silly mistake of, you know, I was only at $2,000 or $3,000 in a leverage trade on a very high. I was on like a 20x. But I took that $40,000 and I was teaching that night, and I put that $40,000 into the leverage account just so that I didn't show my portfolio to the audience, and I left it there. And the next morning, you know, I got liquidated on one of the hugest dumps. It was a $10,000 dump on Bitcoin. That's like it falling literally in an hour, 2 hours, Bitcoin falling to $20,000 from where we are right now. And it wiped, and I lost absolutely everything. And I never want you to feel that sickness. I don't know if you've ever thrown up by losing so much money before. I have, and I have probably 3 times before, where I've literally been so sick of losing everything that I've built through those times. So you need splitting systems. Sometimes you're going to overperform. Sometimes you're going to make more profits than what you actually needed to, and you need to split. It's very, very, very important. So that's another huge part that comes within the structure. Then what you have after that is you have, okay, cool. I know what my business does. I know what exchanges I'm using. I know my splitting system. I know my step-for-step method. I have the roadmap. Fantastic. Then it jumps into the charting, understanding your time frames, what time frame you're locking in with the business, your tokens, what are the tokens you're trading. And this is the big one, guys. You know, we may trade THETA and these for our smaller term trades, right? Our 4 hour, 8 hour, these sort of things. But when it comes to the high time frames and these sort of things, I'm trading ETH. You know, ETH for me is the big one. That's the one that I want. So, you know, your bigger businesses are probably going to trade a lot more Bitcoin and ETH, especially the long-term wealth. And your smaller businesses are going to trade your THETA, your Solanas, your AVAX, all these sort of coins, because they give you the percentages you need in the short time frame. But let's not forget, 10 years ago, what was Bitcoin valued at? couple of $100. It made you enough money just by Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And by the long term, think about it. If Ethereum had to go to a $20,000 evaluation, you only need Ethereum, right? You don't need the smaller ones in that time for the higher businesses. So it's just about understanding that now you're getting your token choice and you're matching them realistically to the businesses too. You will understand the range of these tokens, how big they move, all these sort of things. Then the next thing in the charting is the directions of the market. The market only moves 3 directions. So I'm just going through this again, guys, because this is everything. All that I'm doing after this is I'm deep diving into each of them now, and we're going to start really nitpicking things so you can really understand it. But the market only moves up, sideways, or downwards. Amazing. So make yourself a 4-step method for either system that's in. So for example, how do I long when the market's in an upwards trend? It's teaching you that if I zoom out and I look at the chart right now, I can see very much that it's an upwards market where the bull's legs are bigger than the bear's legs. And the reason why I have a 4-step method is because that 4-step method must make sure that I'm holding my longs longer than what I'm holding my shorts. Because if I get that mixed up and I end up holding my shorts as long as my longs, I'm going to get destroyed. Who tried to short Bitcoin at 28K? Many did, right? But they didn't understand we're in an upwards market and they got absolutely destroyed when it went to 30. And it's the same with many of the altcoins. They thought it was all going to come down, and by you not knowing that and holding your shorts way too long, you know, it's okay to short in a bull market. It is okay to short in a bull market, but they're quick. They're quick and they're on certain time frames. And that's why that 4-step method is there to help you on those directions. It's the same when the market is coming down hard. You can long a market that's coming down hard, but ultimately they're quick longs, and the percentages you need to understand. You know, so you're just making this 4-step method now once, that you have it now. And it will only but just be tweaked slightly along the journey, but you can have all the foundation built right now. So when the bull run does come now, you're ready. Because I want to ask you the question, and I think I know the answers. That's what you're going to say. Are you ready if Bitcoin goes to 100,000? Are you making ridiculous amounts? Are you taking profits perfectly? Are you buying perfectly? Are you doing it right? Like, is it easy? You know, this is what I want to know from you. And the answer that you'll give is probably yes, I want, because your ego is saying I want it to come. The realistic answer is you are not ready for a bull market. You're definitely not ready for a bull market. And that's why it's about pre-looking about what's to come. You need to put this in your head already that Bitcoin's going to $100,000. And the day that it does it, how am I going to trade it? You have to have those methods already in play. Bitcoin can go to $10,000 tomorrow. How am I going to trade it? Stop worrying and thinking in your own ego that it's not going to do this, it's not going to do that. If they do it, what the hell are you going to do? And you need to start thinking like that and start preparing your methods for when that comes. Otherwise, it's going to come. And when it comes, you're not going to know what to do. And the people that you look up to and that you follow on Twitter, they're not going to know what to do either at those times. And that's where it becomes this mess and you end up going rich, poor, rich, poor. As long as you have a good risk to reward and a great 4-step method, like I say, you can lose 7 trades in a row, you can win 1 and you're making money. And that's the game. That's the game. And then when you want to become a really good trader, you just have to get 3 out of 10 and you're making a lot of money. And I proved that. When we started the live sessions, you guys were with me. Our first 2 to 3 sessions, we got stopped out. We have many of the people here. We got Chris, we got Bruce, we got Craig. They all here as the mods. They saw we got stopped out for the first 3 trades that I gave on these live sessions. My account's now 8x up. 8x up, and it's 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks later. Now guys, remember when you start Sniper School, you actually get exclusive access to our daily trading sessions. We just finished one. And remember what I said, we've already had half of the students from the last cohort already double their capital. So follow the 3 basic steps below and come join me in class. So 3 losses in a row, and now all of a sudden I'm an 8x up on my account. You understand the power. Risk to reward ratio is very simple, but it's the most incredible tool that you can use. After that comes the big part of the risk management, a rule system. A simple rule system that keeps your head in check, that keeps all the little things in life in check. If you're fighting with your partner, do not jump onto the computer and trade. If you've had 3 losses in a row, you have to take a day's break. If you had 3 wins in a row, you have to take a day's break. These are all little things just to help you make silly mistakes when you're not in the right mental space. Very simple, very easy. The next thing under risk management, what you do have is your trading journal. You have your trading team, and again, a risk to reward ratio on everything. And now what I mean by risk to reward ratio when it comes to risk management is how much money are you risking in shit coins? How much money are you risking in medium caps? How many are you risking in low caps? How many in Bitcoin and ETH? You know, this is the big thing when it comes to a big part of your portfolio is the being honesty of the risk to reward of your actual portfolio as a whole. So I've given you the 3 basic steps to build a business, right? You need to now move a step further, because what the business is now is, I always said that you have money in your account, right? You need to have purpose for every single cent. What is that cent? Dollar-based company, crypto-based company, very big different things. For example, a car business is a dollar-based business because you want to make a certain amount of dollars to buy your car. Amazing. Salary business, I got to make $3,000 salary a month, dollar business. Then you have your house business. These are all dollar-based businesses, which means these are companies that are built to make you dollars. Very simple. You guys understand that. What you have secondly is you have crypto-based businesses. This is where you want to build for the longer term. And for me, it's the very long term of like I'm chasing personally a couple hundred Bitcoin, right? A couple hundred Bitcoin is where I want to be. And that's sort of something I want to give to my family at a later point, where that's ultimately the goal that I want to build. I don't want a dollar. I don't want any of these sort of things. I want crypto. And this is usually the higher part of your portfolio. So the 3 main businesses that I would like to think of is a salary business, maybe a house business, and my long-term business, my retirement, anything like that. I'm 26 years old. I want a good currency for the rest of my life, the higher time frame view of things, right? Now I'm getting out of the dollar. For this lesson now, I'm not going to be teaching the dollar. I'm going to be teaching the understanding of this actual market. So you have a very unique thing of being able to trade crypto to crypto in crypto. And it's a really, really big thing to understand. And I also want Craig to jump in at any point, because Craig's really good at helping these understanding of these pairs, because people don't get it. You know, people really don't get it. And I want you to take time now, because I believe you at this stage in the market. I believe we're here somewhere. And when you go through here, I need you to understand what you're really building. If you go into a bull market, I want you to understand in 2019, 2020, when the bull market actually started, we had the COVID crash. You know, if you had 0.1 of a Bitcoin at that point and you did put it into a THETA, you'd probably be sitting, what's that amount? 0.1, 27 Bitcoin. Am I right? If you put your 0.1 of Bitcoin into THETA, you would have thought, okay, you would have made a lot of money, but you would make 27 Bitcoin. What's 27 Bitcoin valued at right now? Yeah, I think it's around $700,000-800,000. Okay, and this is the focus of not thinking about the dollars, thinking about the actual Bitcoin amount. So if you look over here, you have 3 basic ways to understand it, that you can trade crypto to crypto. And I want to explain this over here quick, because this is a very powerful method. This method is so powerful that you don't even have to trade leverage at all. Many people use leverage to boost their accounts up and things like that. Amazing. If you can trade pairs, you don't need leverage. Like, you can trade them all on spot and you can make a lot. It just takes a little bit of understanding. But if you have a look here under the markets, let's have a look, and let's look at something as in at the top here, right, Craig? There we go.
Yeah, spot markets and then USDT.
So you go to Binance, you go to spot, right? And under it, it actually shows all the currencies that you can trade to. Now, you're very lucky. You know, we're very lucky that within crypto, we're able to trade so many currencies to currencies, which is amazing. But the big ones that you have here is you have Bitcoin, and then you have ETH. You got ETH, you got DAI, you got all of these different ones. You can even trade coins to XRP if you really want to build. Okay, but you can basically trade any of your coin, BNB to Ethereum, Link to Ethereum, Gala to Ethereum. Let's go back into Bitcoin. If I go into Bitcoin, you can trade all of them. Arbitrum into Bitcoin, BNB into Bitcoin, all these sort of things. So you have
Sheldon, if you just click on that 24-hour change, a little bit below, yeah, there. Now you can see in the last 24 hours what tokens are beating Bitcoin and by what percentage. And you can do the same with ETH, you can do the same with USDT. What are the coins that people are trading? Because these are the coins right now that are beating Bitcoin. I mean, look at some of those percentages. That's in 24 hours.
That's crazy. You know, if you put a Bitcoin into Super yesterday, you'd be sitting at 1.4 Bitcoin today. Yeah. And that's a crazy thing. And what's another small thing that you've always said, Craig, even since when I started, that you taught me?
If you got 6 double digits against Bitcoin, you know, altcoins.
It's an altcoin day. So
I think
it is
you
a
can
nice
do
thing.
6 to Ethereum now. It'll probably be the better move.
Yeah, because Ethereum is the better currency right now.
So ETH is still very strong, eh?
ETH is still very strong, but it's a little
dollars there. You
know, as much as especially if you're trading leverage and little things like this as well, don't count out trading Bitcoin. Don't do it. You know, it went from 16 to 30K this year. That's a huge trade. So, you know, when it comes down to these days, like there's altcoin days, and we use this little tool of just jumping on and looking at spot markets and looking at what's beating Bitcoin. And if there's 10 tokens that are beating Bitcoin, it's altcoin day. Look at trading altcoins. If there's only 2 that's beating Bitcoin, it's a Bitcoin day. Rather look at trading Bitcoin. It's a nice little tool to use. But ultimately, what it basically means is you can trade coins to coins. And this coin on the right is your main currency. So it means you use Ethereum to buy 𝗚𝗨. If you sell 𝗚𝗨, you're going to get Ethereum. So it means someone's going to pay you Ethereum for the 𝗚𝗨. And that's the thing. So imagine, like, guys, it's something to wrap your brain around. Imagine removing the dollar completely from your life right now, or completely from a certain part in your crypto. Like, it's crazy, but you don't need the dollar. You don't need the dollar at all. You can only buy trade. So you got the stronger currencies within the markets, and that's amazing. When the market's in a downwards trend, it makes sense that you have strong currencies and you have weaker currencies, okay? Bitcoin's your strongest currency. So if the market's coming down, it's very simple. You want to hold Bitcoin, right? But what you don't realize in that time is maybe Bitcoin drops, 40%, but altcoins are falling 80%. You actually have an outgrowth of that altcoin by 40%. So for example, if you had 100 Solana, right? Market looks bad. Looks like we're about to have a big drop. And you take that 100 Solana and you turn it into Bitcoin. And Bitcoin drops 30%, Solana drops 60%. If you go take that Bitcoin and go buy the Solana back, you now have 130 Solana. So you just made 30 Solana just by holding Bitcoin. This is where all of a sudden you take your Solana and turn it into Bitcoin. Okay, we drop 40%. Buy back the Solana. Now all of a sudden you have another 30%. So you got 130 Solana. Now the market goes up. Okay, now because you're in Solana, Solana's the stronger one when it goes to the upside. Bitcoin's done great, but if you have a look over here, altcoins do better. They do better than what Bitcoin does when the market goes to the upside. So by holding Solana, Solana starts to outperform Bitcoin on the way up. And what you don't realize is you actually making Bitcoin now to the upside. And because you have more Solana as well than what you had previously, you're making the double compounding effect. So I want to quickly explain this to you and show you. And I showed this once on the show, and I want to show you guys again quickly so that you can understand the power of it. If you had to go, and let's quickly get the dates, but if you had to jump back to January 2021, let's go back to the big dog ETH here. Let's go back to January 2021. If we go over here, so if we look there, and let me highlight the block over there, fantastic. I hope you guys have been using TradingView, guys. Like if you look at all these things, you have all these little tools, make sure you're using them. You can make your charts look really cool. Okay, but basically what you had is you had Ethereum at $1,280. Okay, and you would have bought it. For some reason, someone would have told you and you would have bought it. Amazing. You would have seen a growth of up to 250, 260%. Okay, your money would have went to $4,800. Let's say you sold. Okay, no one did. No one ever sells the top, but let's say you did. Okay, you'll be sitting with $4,800. After that, it would be coming all the way back down now. And maybe you're buying at this sort of area. But let's say you made $4,800 or you didn't sell it all. So those are the two options. If you didn't sell it all, you'll be sitting with maybe $750 profit right now because you would have held it all the way up, all the way down, and basically you'd still be holding it. So you'd still be in a profit. It's still better than what a bank would give you or anything like that. But ultimately, because it was in dollars, you thought it was going to the moon. If you had to buy Ethereum right now and Ethereum had to go from here all the way $6,000, you're probably not going to sell, and it's probably going to come back and be higher at maybe 3,000 and then do it again. And ultimately what you don't understand is, yes, you're making money, but because you're so attached to the dollar, you never know where to sell and you actually never know when to buy. You would have max been maybe $3,000 in profit if you had scenario 1. Scenario 2, you'd be sitting with $750 profit. Amazing. Now let's remove the stable coin. Let's remove the stable coin completely. All you want to know, when should I be in the altcoins? When should I be in ETH? Okay, I've already explained to you the basic concept of it. Markets coming down hard, you want to be in ETH. Markets going up, you want to be in an altcoin. So what I show you here is Cosmos to Ethereum. If I go back here quick, I just want to show you again. I'll jump into Binance, and let's say I go to alts, I go to ETH, and now I say Atom. There we go. Atom to Ethereum. Okay, it just means every time I sell my Atom, I'll get Ethereum. Every time I want to buy Atom, I use Ethereum. Amazing. Okay, now I'm going to teach you a very basic system, and it's nearly the time to actually be doing it. Maybe in the next 2 weeks, it'll be the time to actually attempt your first time. And what's nice about this is don't rush on it either, guys. Like, there's a lot of time to do this. I would say try get a good understanding and get going with it in the next 3 months so that you can get moving on it, especially if we go into crazy alt season and things like that. That's your time. Alt season means making Bitcoin, making Ethereum. But here we go. We use a very simple tool as in a stochastic RSI. Okay. Every time we cross to the bottom, over here and we break a trend line. So the steps that I used here was an oversold RSI and a break of a trend line. So I only use a two-step method here. Same thing here. When this chart is going down, it means you have Ethereum performing better than Cosmos. Atom, it's performing better. So it means your coin is doing worse than what Ethereum is, okay? All of a sudden, when it's going green, it means your coin is doing better than Ethereum. It's outperforming Ethereum. So when it's green, it's outperforming. When it's red, it's underperforming to the main asset, okay? So now we use the basic system. It starts to get to the bottom. What does that mean? It means I'm holding Ethereum, and now it's time to turn my Ethereum into Atom. Now, if we did that just on the break of the trend, price would have went up, okay? RSIs would have went up just to the top, and they would have crossed, and your trend line would have broke. And what it means is you would be an Atom, and as soon as that broke over there, you would turn your Atom back into Ethereum. Okay, so remember, your main base is Ethereum. That's where you're always protecting your money. It's in Ethereum, okay? If you did that, you would have made 108% on your Ethereum, not on your dollars. So if you had $100, if this was a trade, you would have been on $200 right now, right? But this is Ethereum. So if I had one Ethereum and I made 118%, I'd be sitting on 2.18 Ethereum. Now I can see that we're breaking trend to the downside, so my Ethereum is going to be stronger. So what I do is I just turn back into Ethereum and I just hold Ethereum. All of a sudden, RSI comes down, all the way down into our oversold position. It crosses at the bottom. My trend line breaks afterwards. And now what it's telling me is to take my Ethereum and buy Atom. What you don't understand, guys, is when this happened over here, you were actually making Atom. You were making the actual Cosmos coins because your Ethereum was outperforming. It was doing better than that. Once this broke over here, I would then take my Ethereum and I'll turn it back into Atom. All of a sudden, price from the bottom goes all the way up to the top. RSI gets to the top, it crosses. I break my trend. I get out. I would have made 154% on that 2 Ethereum now. So now all of a sudden, my 2 Ethereum will be sitting at 5.5 Ethereum. Amazing. We cross the line to the downside, which means all I do is hold Ethereum. Nothing more than that, just hold it. RSI goes all the way down to the bottom, crosses at the bottom, it breaks trend. Once it breaks trend, I take my Ethereum, I turn it back into Atom. After that, 142% growth. Now all of a sudden, my 5.5 Ethereum is 13.3 Ethereum. Okay? All of a sudden after that, I cross the line, RSI at the top. See, very simple, guys. Just cross of RSIs. Remember, it's your step-for-step method. If it's Ethereum-based business, you're still using this. Same thing. The only difference is my 4-step method or my 3-step method is a weekly chart. It's cross a stochastic RSI, the break of a trend line, and the break of a horizontal. Let's say those are my 3 basic steps. Now I'd be holding Ethereum, then I get in again. After that, 175% growth on my 13.3 ETH. Now all of a sudden, I'm sitting on 36 Ethereum. After that, my RSI never hit the top because what I teach you is above the 90%. Okay, but now I'm still holding Ethereum, right? Ethereum's outperforming until this line crosses over here. The RSI is already at the bottom. I have check number 1 already in play. When I break this trend line, I take my Ethereum and I turn it into Cosmos. In that time where you would have sat and hold your whole Ethereum, you would have made $700 if you held right now, or maximum you would have made $3,000. Okay, you want to know the difference now? It's just by you focusing on not the dollar, you'll be sitting on 36 Ethereum. Guys, how much is 36.5 Ethereum worth today? $76,000. Even if Ethereum goes to $10,000 right now, guys, it's a 5x. The max you would have made is maybe $5,000 to $8,000. By removing the dollar, isn't that a nice method? That you only have to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe going on the 6 in the last 3 years. 6 basic trades in 3 years, maybe 2 trades an entire year, and you would make 36 Ethereum. I'm teaching you the power of removing the dollar. Now guys, already more than half of the students that completed the last cohort have already doubled their accounts for Sniper School. Now remember, there's 3 basic steps that you need to do to sign up for Sniper School. You have to open an exchange account using one of the Sniper School links. Now guys, once you have an exchange account, you want to deposit $100. You get to trade with this capital. We actually trade with it on our live daily sessions. And the 3rd step, you need to put in your user ID. And this you'll find in your information section on your exchange platform. Now guys, remember, Sniper School does not cost a cent. We've managed to make it free. Now remember to follow the 3 basic steps below, which you'll find in the description, and come join over 14,000 students on taking your first step to financial freedom. Enjoy the video. You remove the dollar, you start to make way more dollars. Guys, we're not here to show and to tell you why altcoins are amazing. Altcoins make me the currency that I want. They give me the volatility, and because they're worth so much less market cap wise, they grow a lot more when the market expands. We are very lucky to have a market that has a lot of FOMO. And I would probably say you have maybe one more true bull run until I think the bull runs are going to get a lot smaller. Where right now there's tons of FOMO and there's tons of things, but they're going to get a lot smaller, guys. We're going to get inflated and things like that. So right now you have a very FOMO market. And I'm pretty sure you realize it already, that people just buy when Bitcoin goes up, right? Everyone wants to buy again. And if Bitcoin goes to 40,000, even more people are going to want to buy. And that's what's beautiful. You know, at the end of the day, that's where we make our money, off the late buyers. And that's how it works. But by understanding, by removing the dollar, this is where you make a very simple system. But your big bases, your big businesses, the dollar needs to be removed from that. I don't know about you guys, but my fuel and my petrol is getting very expensive. I don't know about you guys, but my electricity is getting very expensive. My daily life is getting extremely expensive. Why? Because we worry about the shitty dollar every single day. Now I teach you about holding real actual currency that is going up in value and is growing, and using it a simple method. So end of the day, you take in a company and you're matching it with currency that you want to build. And then what you do is, now that you know the power of trading to Ethereum, many different tokens. For me, how do I find the token that's going to help me make Ethereum? Is the one that gives me the simplest method. And all I need is a 3-step method or 4-step method in order to trade it. But this one's great because it respects the RSIs really well. When it breaks the trends, it does really well. So if you ever want to farm Ethereum and build these businesses, so this is one. Now it's the same thing that you can do when it comes to Bitcoin, guys, when it comes to THETA. Okay, if you look at THETA, you look at the 3 waves of what happened previously before the last bull market. In this over here was the strength of Bitcoin, pretty similar to where we are right now. Everything starts off with Bitcoin, right? And what you need to understand is the market moves in 3 directions, and it only will. So you got the big downwards markets, you have the sideways accumulating market, and then after that you have the rally to the upside. And you just need to understand that once you've gone through a very long down market, as you can see over here with THETA. But look at this RSI, guys. This RSI literally told you over here, boom, get out of your THETA and get into Bitcoin. Because now Bitcoin's the main currency. If you had 1,000 THETA, look at that. Bitcoin outperformed THETA by 84%. It's crazy the amount of THETA you would have made just by holding Bitcoin. But what you can see now is we're getting to a point where we're in here, guys. We're in here. And what they usually say is how long we go sideways is what creates the result, right? And ultimately, where we're getting to now is we're getting to a point where we're near these major, huge breaks of trends. THETA's just left the floor right now to Bitcoin. So the first check in your step system can be a tick. Secondly is this trend line. And remember, I want you to be very aware of this. If you take any of your Bitcoin and you are turning it into an altcoin, you're protecting that Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin is your gold. You are protecting that Bitcoin. So for example, if I'm getting to THETA right now and I'm putting this in, I have a step-for-step method to get in. I want to be accurate. I want to make Bitcoin, and I have a step-for-step method to get out. Very simple. So I have the step method now that I have my RSI at the bottom. Then I cross the trend. Look how simple it actually gets, guys. Every time this RSI gets to the top, I don't even need a trend line. It's been extremely accurate. Look at this. Get out over there. Amazing. The time after that, get out over there. Like, look how good it is. So if I get in right now and I break this trend, as soon as this RSI gets here, I'm out. Done. finished out. It's about being consistent. But ultimately, if this breaks over here and this ends up going anywhere here, you have the opportunity of making, 200% more on your Bitcoin. You put a Bitcoin in, you come out with 3 Bitcoin. And that's the power of understanding of how to trade these actual tokens and all these sort of things. But guys, tell me yes or no. Yes, I'm understanding this. Wow, it's incredible. Remove the dollar from your brain. Remove the dollar from your brain. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but Atom to ETH is really one of the best pairing, and Theta to Bitcoin is one of the best pairing too. Remember, you don't need small cap tokens for this. You can trade Cardano to Bitcoin. You want medium caps to Bitcoin. That's what you want out of this, is the more safer tokens. You don't trade shit coins to Bitcoin. Don't treat your Bitcoin like trash, is what I'm trying to say. So don't trade your Bitcoin for trash. Trade it for quality. So you can even just trade Ethereum to Bitcoin. Now, what did I say at the beginning of the year? I said, I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. You're going to make Bitcoin by holding Ethereum. If you have a look, even in the history of this, firstly, you can see over the last 2 weeks, if you look at Ethereum as a whole, you would have made 12% Bitcoin just by holding Ethereum. But even if you look at just the last, year or two, just by holding Ethereum, you'd be sitting 200% up on your Bitcoin. So guys, you can even just trade Ethereum to Bitcoin. And the way you do that is you say, you made up my mind. Okay, Ethereum to Bitcoin is the pair that I want to trade. Now what do? You choose the time frame. I only use weekly for this, guys. Weekly and monthly. You don't need small time frames. Weekly and monthly for this. Don't try daily. Don't try hour. Don't try stuff. Use very high time frame because it's very accurate. I believe you can get 80% to 90% of all these trades correct. Let's just see over here. Many. Wow, how many comments. Getting each other. You guys enjoying it? You're enjoying it. But
so
ultimately,
Sheldon, I think people are battling a little bit with the concept of so you've got to trade, let's just say, like you said, Cosmos for ETH. Like, how do you do it? You literally go to Binance, or you look on your exchange, and then you literally trade the ETH for Cosmos. Or if your exchange doesn't have it, then you've obviously got to go back to USDT first and then into the other coin, So so if your coin, if you don't have the pairing, that's why don't trade any coin if it doesn't have a pairing. It means it's a very small cap coin, possibly. If you are doing that, they should have them. But you're right, Greg. Like if I just click on here, guys, it's very simple. I go on here to Atom to ETH, and over here, see what it shows me? My available ETH. Yeah.
If I want to buy, my available Atom if I want to sell. So if I sell the Atom, I'll receive Ethereum. If I sell the Ethereum, I'll receive Atom. And it just becomes the main trading pair. These are the zeros that are going to confuse you because it's going to give you the currency of what it's worth in Ethereum. And you can see it actually gives it to the dollar as well. You just got to focus on the actual ETH amounts. Will you just quickly explain? I know you got this right. You got the best way to explain this actually.
So what you've got to do is you've just got to think of ETH as being a stable coin. So you're trading one token for another. The benefit is that you miss the middle transaction. So normally you'd have to sell, let's just say, from Cosmos to USDT, and then from USDT to Cosmos. So you're missing out one of the trades, and you use the same technical indicators. You can do the same trend lines, the same support, the same resistance. Everything is exactly the same. But what you're doing, I think what you've got to do is you've got to decide what is the main coin that you actually want to earn in this period of trading. And if you follow Sheldon, and if you've been watching us on the 12 o'clock lives, you'll see that he's got that like pyramid chart. And at the top, we've got Bitcoin and ETH. So you have to ultimately decide, what do I want as a percentage of my portfolio in Bitcoin, and what do I want as a percentage of my portfolio in ETH? And then every trade that you do, am I beating Bitcoin or am I beating ETH? So decide. I'm just going to use ETH as an example now because we're going into altcoin season. So what I would do in the morning, the first thing to do is you literally go and you look like Sheldon showed you on the Binance chart. So you have a look at what pairs are beating Bitcoin, what pairs are beating ETH. And if you in any of those coins, and ETH is actually beating the coin that you're in, it's actually better for that point in time to be in Ethereum or to be in Bitcoin. Later, you can trade it back. You're still going to get the token that you want.
Just to add on there is a big chance that ETH will go to $20,000 one day. And that's what we have to be looking at. We have to look at the future and see what we're actually working towards. So in Sheldon's example, he had 36 ETH that he's going to achieve after those 3 years, and if you take $20,000 per ETH, that's $700,000, once ETH gets to 20,000. So how would that be towards your pension fund, once it gets to 20,000? Make a massive difference.
I don't know about all these other layer 2s and layer 1s that are going on in Arbitrum and all this drama that goes on. I mean, we've seen it last year with Luna collapse and FTX collapse. And what I do know is that Bitcoin and ETH are safe for me. I've personally come to that realization, is that Bitcoin and ETH are the two main, as safe as they can be, tokens that are out there. So every time you're doing a trade, look at that. Am I actually earning more ETH or more Bitcoin by doing this trade? Or is it better just to be in ETH? So your trading actually drops the amount that you've actually got to trade, because you're literally just swinging from token to token and missing out the USDT. You also don't measure it in dollars the whole time.
So true. And I just want to show you guys again, crypto bubbles. Everyone's sitting and celebrating at, it's been incredible, incredible, incredible. We sit here, and if you click over here to the top 100 or whatever it may be, and you just click on the settings, you can change the currency. And you can basically see over here to Bitcoin, how these altcoins.
So you click on that little settings button, and you can change. What am I showing now? There where it says Bitcoin, you can change it to dollars, you can change it to ETH under the currency.
Yeah, so let me just reset it here and just let it load. But I'll basically show you. Here we go. Okay, so if you look over here, let me just make sure that it is. There we go. So this is what the coins have done to Bitcoin. And that's the power of it. Chainlink outperformed it by 17%. Render outperformed it by 28%. Guys, Bitcoin's been going up.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's going up, and you're making Bitcoin. You see the concept of understanding the power of it that's why we love the bull runs and stuff like that, because the fact that we in a coin that's outperforming Bitcoin, not only are we making Bitcoin, Bitcoin's going up in value too. If you can 2 to 3x your Bitcoin on a bull run, and Bitcoin can do it 300%, you actually double compounding. And that's a beautiful thing. And then the next thing that you're going to understand, just to jump back here, just to explain it, is when it comes to the time of a bear market, where we get to a point now where the market's going to come down now. So what it teaches you is when the market gets to the top, when it gets to toppy sort of areas, when your monthly stochastic on the Bitcoin's at the top, it's time to get out of your alts back into Bitcoin. When the bear market comes, you want to hold Bitcoin. You're going to make a lot of altcoins by doing that. Then when it comes to the farming range, you're then going to wait until we start breaking out the very long-term trends. Okay. And once we're out of the long-term trends, it's time to get out of your Bitcoin into altcoins and to actually make more Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin goes to $40,000 now, and we're saying, okay, we think the market's at the top. We think we're going to come down now. You're getting the signs. You're getting all of that. All of that means jump back into Bitcoin. Don't worry about the dollar. Don't worry about anything else. You protect your damn Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what you want. You want to protect your Bitcoin. And that's one of the businesses, guys, is to understand that some of your businesses need to run on crypto. And the pure power of understanding through that time was the fact that you can make 36 Ethereum, where you could have made $700. You can make $70,000 instead of $700, shows you the power of the actual strategy, that whenever you are panicking and you feel that things are not good out there, jump to your strongest asset. Doesn't matter what Bitcoin does to the dollar. Don't lose your Bitcoin. Ask Craig this question. Craig, do you want your 700 Bitcoin back, bro? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're waiting for the dollar. Like your Bitcoin, whenever you're worried, just protect your damn Bitcoin. Because there are sharks out there that want your Bitcoin. And Michael Saylor is one of them. He wants your Bitcoin. The biggest session I want you to do today is remove the dollar from your brain and start accumulating crypto. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is to learn and understand those sort of things.
It's not all your portfolio. For me, it's my longer term portfolio.
Exactly.
I still have my trading portfolio. So I've got 3 portfolios. I've got my long term. I've got my swing, which I've got on KuCoin. My long term is on Binance and Ledger. And then my leverage portfolio. So the long term is where you're looking at this.
Someone said, should this be all of my portfolio? If your portfolio is only a long-term savings, like that's its only purpose, is to not make you any money, but only to do something for a very long time frame, you can do a very high percentage on the weekly and trade pairs, because you don't need any dollar-based businesses, unless you need actual physical dollars for salary, for cars, to actually spend the money. And it's long-term. Yes, you can be using a lot of your portfolio to trade those sort of things. understand the concept of buying Bitcoin, selling it into Ethereum, selling my Ethereum back into Bitcoin, take $20 and just go understand the concept of how it actually works. Once you understand the concept, you can now build the business. You can go to the high time frames, the 4-step system, the tokens, the range, and you could fully move on that. So you just got to ask yourself the question, I have $1,000 in my account now. What is the purpose of these? I need 2 or 3 major things. I want to have a salary and I want a long-term. Okay, amazing. I want to put 30% of it to build me a salary business now, and the 70% I want long-term. Amazing. So your 70% will trade pairs and your 30% will trade dollars. And that's it.
So
yeah, so someone asked exactly, you're saying, and someone asked the question, yeah, so basically you're saying after alt season, sell your money into Bitcoin or Ethereum and not hold it in USDT. Yes, 100%. Because what's the risk? Okay, what's the risk? The risk is Bitcoin goes to $80,000 right now. Right now it goes to $80,000. And in your head, all the RSIs at the top, everything's at the top, and you're like, okay, this must be the area of the top. So what do? You take all of your coins and you sell it into USDT. Okay, so if you had to take all your coins and sell them at that price, you would have, let's say, 4 Bitcoin. So that would be, if you had to sell all your coins into Bitcoin now, you'll have 4 Bitcoin. But now you decide to get into USDT. What happens if Bitcoin doesn't decide to pull back and goes to 120,000? Now you want to go try to get your Bitcoin back. You're only going to get 2 Bitcoin now. So you just lost half of your Bitcoin because you were worried about that. Like whenever you're at the point where the market's going to top, you jump into Bitcoin. Just all that I'm saying is stop losing your Bitcoin. Because if all of you had to go see the amount of Bitcoin that you had in the last bull run, you'll be sick right now to see the value of how much Bitcoin you have now. You probably got 90% less Bitcoin than what you actually had in that time. And because you were worried about the dollar and you're worried about these sort of things, you ended up giving away 90% of your Bitcoin. Stop giving away your Bitcoin. Make lots of money, make lots of Ethereum, make lots of Bitcoin. Just keep kicking ass. I'll see you on tomorrow's session. Now guys, if you enjoyed that video, sign up to Sniper School. Remember, that's a little bit of alpha. We have so much more within the course. Do the basic steps below and I'll see you all in class. Much love.